prospects for Nigeria's adoption of digital technology to drive an efficient and robust financial services industry came to the fore at the Maiden National Fintech Conference in Lagos. It brought together stakeholders from the government, banking, insurance, technology, and business space. With Nigeria considered as one of the promising hubs for the growth of fintech, dignitaries in their remarks shared the value of the summit.
Nigeria, to me and to a lot of people in the world, represent the future and holds enormous promise. Most Canadians, you would be surprised to know, or maybe not, don't know that Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa. True, we don't. We don't know that you have the largest population, and we also don't know that you have the largest economy. And we also don't know that Nigeria is English speaking. And you need to know that, because what it means for us and what it means for you is that as technology companies become alive to that fact, they're going to be killing themselves to come over here and do business with you. And that is true. Because we don't know that, we're not here.
The word financial and technology have been merged creatively to become fintech, which underscores the enabling or creatively disrupting role of financial technology in the provision of delivery of financial services and financial products generally.
While Nigeria is joining the league of countries embracing fintech as an alternative in the provision and consumption of financial services, especially with the recent licensing of some digital banks, there are, however, a number of regulatory, infrastructural, and social challenges militating against the wide adoption of fintech.
As we go forward, the banking business is not going to just be about going to places, taking your mat and collecting your tally number and waiting for when you're going to be called for the purpose of collecting money. That's not the way it's going to be in the future.
We have talent which should be encouraged and nurtured. We have thousands of brilliant graduates in the fintech-related areas of study, such as engineering, including computer engineering and computer scientists, finance, business, or law, who are potential innovators. We have them here in Nigeria and also in diaspora. We should not underrate ourselves.
According to the Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access, that's a FINA statistics, the proportion of the banked adults in Nigeria is only about 38%. The report shows that there are about 59.4 million unbanked adults in Nigeria. When you place this side by side with the number of mobile phones in Nigeria, currently estimated at about 153 million, according to NCC, you immediately see there is an obvious gap that fintech or financial technology businesses can take advantage of and can fill.
It also featured panel sessions on financial services and blockchain, financial inclusion, Nigeria as Africa's fintech leader, lessons in fintech, as well as RegTech in Nigeria. Key players and policymakers speak further on the fintech conference in Nigeria and the opportunities for its growth and development in the country.
As you know, fintech is one of the more impressive dimensions of technology. And what I like about fintech is that it actually affects positively the way people live their lives. It's a way to leverage technology to deal with, money transfers and, all kinds of financial transactions. And frankly, to hear that the fintech conference in Nigeria is holding only 2 weeks after the first World Conference is quite impressive. And Nigerians, have a lot of entrepreneurial energy. And one of the dimensions of that is just what we've seen in the technology space. And so I'm glad that we are convening this kind of conference to further motivate and energize our people to innovate for the good of the economy.
Technology is defining and redefining everything in the global environment today. And that is the only way banking can keep pace. And the Nigerian environment in particular can be in tandem with what is happening globally. And business development, business improvement, everything depends on the level and the sophistication of technology today.
And our universities also should take note of this trend in the technology world, so that we have computer scientists, computer engineers, even in the fields of business, law, and finance. These are all related to financial technology. And I hope our universities will grow enough talent and innovators going forward. As to the banking world, the possibilities are enormous.
Let's not wait for perfection. Perfection is not anywhere. What we have, does it solve the problem? Is it at the price point we can afford? Does it include a large number of people? Is it scalable? Once those things are there, let's move on. Let's not wait for perfection.
Essentially, we need collaboration from all stakeholders. We need the appropriate regulatory environment that ensures that it facilitates the coming together of partners to implement the fintech agenda. We need collaboration between telcos, between financial institutions, between distribution chains. We need to do agency distribution more rather than trying to build silos of branches around. We need to make sure that there is enough acceptance. QR code technology helps. We need a regulatory environment to enable the validation of fintech-based transactions as an acceptable means of payment and traceable record of financial transaction.
Up until now, everyone has basically been doing their own thing, going in their own direction, without realizing that by working together, we'll all be able to get to our common destination quicker, easier, and cheaper. So this kind of collaboration is fantastic, and such events need to be encouraged and promoted as we actually advance in our adoption of financial technology in Nigeria.
You see, I'm really impressed with the conference. If we look at what is happening around us in Nigeria, we're talking of diversifying our economy, you understand? And this basically is emphasizing on the key role technology can play to move Nigeria forward.
I say congratulations to the organizers, led by Dr. Aina, being able to put together this team and this caliber of people, good international presence. And I think it's a good start. It will help the world to begin to notice that something beautiful and exciting is happening in Nigeria.
You see, actually government business is not to engage in business. So our mandate is to provide an enabling environment. Government intervenes only where the private sector has not yet conceptualized or practicalized the idea. So because NIPOS is available, we will use NIPOS to drive that process. At the same time, we would also support and collaborate with the private sector to drive, this type of service across borders. So there won't be any conflict. And I believe in doing that, we will also gain the experience in order to formulate policies and regulations which would assist both the private sector and NIPOS to properly implement these financial services to the advantage of Nigerians.
Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria is passionate about financial inclusion. As you're aware, there is a National Financial Inclusion Strategy with the Central Bank of Nigeria issued. There is also the Payment System Vision 2020, all towards ensuring that Nigerians are able to access financial services at the closest available financial service points, also leveraging technology. So this is a very good ground for fintechs in Nigeria to explore. And the Central Bank of Nigeria is very accommodating towards innovation and ensuring that fintechs in Nigeria have the right environment.
Nigeria has massive potential for fintech, and I'm not going to be the only one saying that, because as a country that is the most populous country here, with the entrepreneurial talent that Nigeria has, I think the potential is massive, but at the same time, one has to acknowledge that things haven't moved as fast as some of the other counterparts in Africa. Our thesis in investing is that first you have to lower the distribution cost of distributing financial services, which is why we've invested in companies like Pagatech, which covers last mile delivery of mobile financial services, and Flutterwave, which provides low cost payment processing. I think first you have to build this digital payment rails. Once you have digital payment rails and you have people transacting digitally, then you build the storehouse of data, which you can then use to, for example, underwrite a customer that has no credit file, and then provide a loan to that individual. Then he builds more of a history, and then you can provide more products. So I think we're at a phase here where the digital infrastructure The payment infrastructure is being built, and I think very quickly what we are going to see is other services ride on top of that digital infrastructure.
Well, the fintech industry globally is already going from strength to strength. The level of investment year on year is increasing. The number of startups that exist is on the increase. Banks also are improving the way that they engage with the fintech sector. So Nigeria actually has so many things to learn from that. And the great thing is Nigeria can leapfrog. They can avoid the traps that other countries have maybe gone through, or the pain that other countries have experienced. Nigeria can learn from all those good things and actually then deploy an ecosystem, a model that is best for the market here.
You have some advantages other countries don't have. Huge size, amazing population, all one language. We have 2 languages in Canada, that's an impediment. Young population, so you have all these great things that already, lots of mobile penetration. You have these great things that we actually don't have. So you have all the great things. I think what you need to do is put it all together in a partnership between the government and the private sector. And one of the things that always works really well is if the government sets up an incubation hub. And then the fintechs have a place to come, whether it's, all night, they get out of their, parents' basement, off of school, and they have a place to come and build technology together. And it creates other little startups because they each use each other's services for something, and they work all together at night. And Israel's done that, and Paris has done that, and it's been really, really successful in helping to grow an ecosystem for fintech. So I think what Nigeria needs is some cities to come together with banks and the government to set up incubation hubs and help the system just grow naturally. And then I think it'll just be a real big fintech leader.
Yes, I am quite pleased at what is happening today. The first National FinTech Conference, where we have been able to pull a very large crowd. It's a sold-out event, and we thank everybody that could have contributed to this. You can see that the entire stakeholders in that sector is present. Starting from the federal government, where we have 2 very, very senior and relevant ministers. We have from the Lagos State, because we are operating in Lagos, we have the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology also coming here and being part of a panel. We have banks, including some bank MDs who are here. We have the insurance sector, the regulator of the insurance sector. We have Central Bank of Nigeria. The director of Central Bank is here to listen to what we're talking about. We have the large technology companies, Soft Alliance, System Specs, Courtville, and so many of them who are participating. And of course, we have professional firms, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG, and also law firms, Banwa, Nigudalo, Templars, Georgetomi & Co. Because these are all people that are within that sector. And we are able to get everybody. Not only people operating in Nigeria, we are also be able to bring resources from abroad, from many countries, Kenya, Ghana, Australia, Canada, UK, name it. They're only here to share their perspective of how the fintech world, technology world is going in that area, and how we can also learn and benefit from all this. So for me, it's been so wonderful. It's gone beyond my imagination, and we look forward to the next one coming in January. We are looking at January 25 and 26. It will be a 2-day event next year, 2018, and it's going to be much bigger and grander than this.
With the 4th industrial revolution driven by digital technology, collaboration between the government and private sector will give Nigeria the chance to deploy fintech to revolutionize its financial services industry, improve financial inclusion, and drive inclusive economic growth.